Ron Smith's visionary leadership helped his home chapter become one of the top organizations on campus. After about a year after he joined the California Delta AVC, the SIGEP chapter at San Diego State lost its charter. Ron and other volunteers got to work, creating a plan to maintain the chapter house and to recharter. After being named AVC president, Ron worked tirelessly with university officials and volunteers to bring the chapter back to campus. Once it returned, he was a constant presence at chapter and executive board meetings, getting to know the brothers and sometimes even their parents. Those early years weren't easy, though at first the chapter struggled to get its GPA out of the 2.0 range, but Ron never lost faith. By the time the chapter received its charter in the spring of 2004, its GPA was above 3.0. The very next year, inspired by Ron's focus on academic achievement, members changed the chapter bylaws to make 3.0 the GPA standard for the chapter. That's the power of consistent mentoring and brotherly love. Because Ron believed in them, he gave them the confidence to believe in themselves. The chapter continued this upward momentum by bringing home its first Buchanan Cup. The chapter has since earned 3 more Buchanan Cups and numerous awards on campus. In 2008, Ron increased his responsibilities, taking on the role of chapter counselor in addition to the AVC president. Ron co-chaired the AVC's capital campaign, and thanks to him and other dedicated volunteers, the chapter is now an accredited residential learning community with a state-of-the-art home and education center. Ron later handed over the reins after 15 years as AVC president to focus on being chapter counselor. And one other thing, in addition to just these things with the chapter, Ron was also the president of the Alumni IFC on campus for many years, and he was able to initiate several programs there that followed the SIGEP leadership abilities with the residential learning community. So that has proved really wonderful on campus. Having spent his career as an educator, Ron firmly believes in recognizing students' achievements and encouraging them to reach even higher. Ron, along with the chapter's faculty fellow, created the Academic Success class, which is offered each semester with mandatory attendance for New Sigmas and men with GPAs under the Cal Delta minimum of 3.0, along with any volunteers. As he saw the chapter's GPA steadily climb, he decided to provide an incentive for brothers who excel academically, and in 2015 he initiated a state dinner to recognize brothers who finished the year with a 3.5 or better. Just over 22% of the brothers in the chapter qualified that first year. By the second year, the number of eligible brothers shot up to over 37%. Attending this event has become a point of pride among the brothers and has added another element to their friendly academic competition. It's clear to all that Ron has built something special at San Diego State. Tonight, we want to let him know just how proud we are of him and present him with the Exemplary Service Award. Congratulations to Ron Smith, our 2018 Exemplary Service Award recipient.
Thank you all so very much, and especially fitting, Bob, that you were the one to come up and work that part of the award presentation for this. It's especially fitting because Bob Travatten and his partner Skip Dahlkamp, co-recipient of the Order of the Golden Heart, supported Cal Delta virtually on their own, just the two of them, for 35 years before any of the others of us got involved. That's an amazing accomplishment, and it's the only reason why Cal Delta still exists to this day. So to you guys, we owe you everything. But I also want to point out that the folks with me at the table here, fellow AVC members, collectively, and including 20 years of one of our friends who wasn't able to make it tonight, 180 years of dedicated combined service to Cal Delta and Sigma Phi Epsilon. And I'm so proud that I get to be part of what we do here and that we work so well together. And we've got many years to come. So I want to give it up for the California Delta AVC. I appreciate all of you guys being here, but you got to know I'm a homer. I especially appreciate the Cal Delta guys being here in such large numbers. Love you guys, loving working with you. Looking forward to a lot more. My wife, Molly, of near 47 years, is in the audience. My daughters, Megan and Carol. I'll just simply say I love you with all my heart, and I'm so glad you're here. Life and having meaning and purpose. It's right here, ladies and gentlemen. I also want to thank the National Board of Directors for selecting me for this honor, but more importantly, for having the faith and trust in me to allow me to help out at the local, regional, and a little bit at the national level with Sigma Phi Epsilon. It's a real joy, and I can't imagine now life without that. It's really wonderful. You know, I've been a member of Sigma Phi Epsilon for 53 years. And I have, thank you. See, once you join, you're always a Sig Ep, and you guys know that. But I've been a member for 53 years, and I have to tell you, my undergraduate years weren't all that remarkable. They were highly formative. I mean, love of my life, best friend, interesting men who saw something in me that they thought they could believe in, that I could begin believing in myself. A very formative thing. And I really didn't have anything to do with volunteering until later in my adult life, when my career was settled down, my family was more mature, and I began to have some time to look to do something with. And I didn't think about Sig Ep. Honestly, I did not, until one day I was at the bottom of my driveway. It was a Saturday morning. I remember it vividly. And my best friend Dale, my fraternity brother, lived right across the street from me. 18 years together. We built houses together. We raised our families together. We got the same letter, and it was from Sig Ep headquarters. It says, hey, we're thinking about starting up California Delta again. There'd been some troubled times. Might you be interested in helping out? Dale and I looked at each other, had a sip of coffee. Oh, well, maybe, we'll go down there. So we agreed to do that. We went to the meeting. Got reacquainted with some people I knew a long time ago. Interesting conversations. Yeah, okay, that was fine. Listened to the outstanding Sig Ep presentation staff. I don't know if any of you guys remember Wes Stolp, but he was our campus recruiter. Outstanding young man. I'd like to find him again sometime and talk with him. And at the end of the meeting, I swear to God, I don't know how it happened, but Dale and I walked out of there as AVC co-presidents. And we have, Molly, you know how it happened, right? Because yeah, helium hands. But that's the story. That's the story. And Bob, you touched on the colonization project and whatnot. But what kept us going, what kept me and all of us going, was the outstanding young men that were coming through Sig Ep and that were so incredibly fun to work with. The other network of co-volunteers that we met all around the country going to regional and national events. We've found people at Conclave that live in Kentucky, and now they're our best friends. It's absolutely marvelous. And I'll tell you, other people have made comments about how great the Sig Ep staff is, and we've got a group of people that work for this fraternity, men and women, that love this fraternity as much as we do, and they work their hearts out every day. And Stacy, I never did thank you for getting back to me on that email with the wonderful data, and that was just one small piece of the level of service that you all get and the people that work for this fraternity for you. Bob, you mentioned I was a school teacher. That was my profession. I loved working with children, and I love the world of teaching and learning. And I have a special appreciation for the rich content, the curriculum of Sigma Phi Epsilon. I know good when I see it, and you guys are getting the best there is to offer in the world of leadership training, and it comes right here from our own fraternity. I am an ardent believer in the Balanced Man program, and I urge each of the members here to see it through to its ultimate conclusion. Go through all the challenge levels. Earn that brother-mentor status. Come back to your chapter as junior and senior leaders and help those younger guys find their way so that they can not be as good as you, but like we know, you would want them to be better than you, and you can show them how. I urge you to chase after that Balanced Man program and do everything with it that's there for you to do, because it's good for you, it's good for us. And I also have to talk about this Carlson Leadership Academy, and several of the other presenters tonight have touched on that. It's such a high-quality learning experience, and you understand a little bit more about the scope and impact that SIGEP has now. This is one of 5 that are done every year around the region, and it's a regional event. The more men that you can get as a chapter to this and other SIGEP leadership events, the better off you're going to be, the better off the chapter's going to be. Get them coming. Get them coming in large numbers, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so proud of Cal Delta. They got 19 guys here tonight. That's a lot of leadership going back to the chapter to do good things for a long time in the future, so you guys, job well done. This workshop alone, one of 5, is upwards of $140,000 worth of cost. That's a lot of money, one of 5. Sure, you guys paid some registration fees. Your chapter dues went for some of it too, but about 60% of the cost of this thing is paid for by the donors, by the people that support you with their gifts of money. Why do they do that? Because, like me, they believe in the fraternity, and they believe in the promise that you guys have when you leave this room, that you're going to be able to go out there and do good things. You know, fellas, I was really blessed with my career. I was a public school teacher. I went on to become a school principal. And that career challenged me in every possible way that I could imagine. It challenged me intellectually. It challenged me emotionally. It made me confront things about myself that I needed to learn to be a more effective leader. I developed great relationships. I got attacked and survived. Everything you could hope for in a career came my way. It's going to happen. Leadership positions, it's going to happen. And you learn and grow. But it was a wonderful experience. But the best thing about it for me, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing about it for me is it fed my soul. It gave me an opportunity every single day to feed the heart that a person has for wanting to be in your community and make a difference and do things to help support us as humankind and further our communities and further ourselves as human beings. It was rich for me, and it fed my soul. So what I want to urge you guys to do, whether it's through your career, whatever your ambitions are, if you find that it's not feeding your soul the way my work fed mine, find other things to do alongside of your profession or change it. But it's so important when you get to the end of your thing, your time on the planet, that you understand that you did have meaning and purpose, and that what you did, part of it at least, was feeding your soul. And I don't think you have to wait until you get into your career. I think you can do that right now. I think you can start that right now as chapter leaders when you go back to your various schools and talk about what you're going to do with this new leadership training. SMART goals, they're great. You've got ambition for your chapter. You want to do these things. But did anybody talk this weekend about what it might look like if you initiate a project that for your chapter soon would earn you a thing called the honor of Philios? Maybe not. It's an award that we give out every other year at Conclave for individuals, groups, or chapters that demonstrate extraordinary acts of brotherly love. Only, it's been given out 15 times since 1989 when past Grand Chapter President Jack Wheeler and Order of the Golden Heart Award winner started off 15 different times only, and since its inception. 3 of the recipient chapters are involved in this room right now, and I'm really proud to say that one of them is California Delta. So why not take a look at what you can do when you go back to your school and work with your chapter brothers or the other Greek members of the community and find out what needs are there, what kind of things you can do to support somebody or a group that's in dire need. What can you do to help them out so that maybe the next time the application period comes around, you too could be looking at an award called the Honor of Philios. We get lots of questions all the time, guys, about why we volunteer. And it's not simple, but a lot of it has to do with our relationships with you and the feedback we get as we do our daily work with individuals and groups. We get really cool testimonials from parents, for example, who thank us for bringing them the Balanced Man program, for example, or working with their children, or working with their sons who are growing into men under the guidance of their brothers in Sigma Phi Epsilon. It's a powerful thing for a volunteer to get that, to know that somebody out there is noticing that your work is starting to make a difference for somebody that they really love and value. And we get member testimonials too, and it's especially fitting even tonight because it's coming from our Volunteer of the Year award winner, Bob Gibbs, who shared this with us in a simple email, and it just says, "Hey Bob, final grades just came in. I got a 3.68, which means I will be seeing you at the upcoming steak dinner. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you for the support all semester long, and please thank the rest of the AVC board as well for believing in me." One simple, powerful thank you in an email, and it drives volunteers forward like you cannot believe. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, this is why we volunteer. It's why we're here tonight. It's why so many people, SIGEPs or otherwise, have invested so much in you. And we want you to know we appreciate you giving this opportunity to serve. It's simply that we believe in you, and our faith and trust goes with you on into the future. And thank you from the bottom of my heart.